guys, it's Margie, and today I'm doing a movie review of the 1978 film Days of Heaven. This film starred Richard Gere, Brooke Adams, Sam Shepard, Linda Manns, Robert J. Wilk, Jackie Schultes, Stuart Margolin, and tons and tons and tons of extras. I literally had that in my notes. I had the list of people and then tons of extras. Bravo, Margie. Okay. I cracked myself up. Alright, this was directed by Terrence Malick, who also directed Badlands and The Tree of Life, and as many of you know of his work, Terrence Malick is a familiar name in filmmaking. Music was by Ennio Morricone, and he also did the music for Hamlet and The Untouchables. Cinematography was by Nestor Almendros, who also did the cinematography for Sophie's Choice, Kramer vs. Kramer, and The Blue Lagoon. Edited by Billy Weber, who also did the editing for The Tree of Life, Miss Congeniality, Top Gun, and Days of Thunder. Written by Terrence Malick and produced by Jacob Brackman, Harold Schneider, who also produced War Games, and Bert Schneider. Okay, guys, so the basic plot for this movie, I cannot really describe it. I'm just going to take a pitiful stab at it. Basically, it's the story, it's like set in olden times, and it's like this group of sharecroppers comes to this farm, and within this group of workers that work other people's fields, basically, and kind of live like gypsies. There's this guy, he's in love with this girl, and he has a younger sister. That was complicated. He and this girl come up with this strategy to catch the eye of the landowner and get her married off to him and live in luxury. Okay, that's basically the plot. While still being in love themselves and having their own romance on the side. The performances. Richard Gere, this was a very early career choice for him, and I thought he did well. It didn't blow me away. I think he was definitely still growing a lot as an actor. However, I thought he did reasonably well in this movie. Brooke Adams, I thought she did very well in this movie. She plays the female lead role. I thought she did a really good job. I don't think there was anything else she could have done with it. Sam Shepard, I thought did very well in his role. He was a little stiff for me, but his character is supposed to be really stiff. So, yeah, everyone else I mentioned here, I'm not really going into them, guys, because I feel like the tone of the film was very unusual. I'm going to get into that in just a minute. So I don't really feel like I can really comment on the acting like I normally would, because I feel like it was kind of like strange, and the dialogue was kind of strange, and like the way they acted was kind of strange to fit with the film, so I'm having a hard time kind of critiquing their performances. But I don't think there was anything else like they could have done. I feel like they all did well, but nothing really was just like, oh my god, you killed it, you know what I mean? Okay, let's get into, if you don't mind, I would just love to push the directing category to the back of the stack, because that one's going to take me a while to talk about. So let's talk about the music. The music to me did not stand out at all, but that is a beautiful thing in so many ways, because if it stands out and it's like, holy crap, you're bombing. Okay, so bravo to Ennio Morricone. I thought it fit well. There wasn't much music though. There was like a lot of nature sounds actually in place of where music probably would have normally have been. So I felt like it was definitely minimal, but it was okay. Cinematography for this, I really enjoyed the cinematography for this. I don't think there was anything else he could have done. The lighting for this film is gorgeous, and especially the hours that they chose to film the outdoor scenes could not have been better. Absolutely killed it. Bravo, sir. The editing for this, okay, I don't know where to put the blame for the editing, the responsibility of the editing, because To me, this film seemed very choppy, but I think that's just how Terrence likes his movies to be. So I'm kind of like, I don't really know how much to give Billy Weber. I know that Billy Weber can do great work because Miss Congeniality was edited beautifully. So I think that the editing that he did was good, but I think there was several scenes where Terrence was like, we can't cut this out, and I want this scene in here for 30 seconds, and blah, blah, blah. Like, the actual acting editing for this was great. Like, the parts where there was acting, I thought like that was edited really well. But there was just like random scenes of like a flower for like 20 seconds, and you're like, I don't know why this wasn't cut out, but that, I believe that was Terrence. So yeah, I'm gonna get to that in a little bit with him. So I feel like Billy Weber did well on the whole. Okay. The writing for this, the dialogue is okay. To me, the plot is honestly trash. And let me tell you why, okay? Or it's not the concept of the plot is great, okay? The concept of the plot is we're this young couple in love, and we're broke, and we've got this child to care for. This child is like over 10, but anyway. And so you get married off, and like basically when he dies from, because they thought he was going to die, in like a year's time, then we'll be together and inherit all the land. You could go so many places with that. Killer plot. Go for it. But, it's really like, to me, the film, and I'm just kind of, by the way, I'm just kind of grouping like writing and directing together since they're both done by Terrence. So I'm just like grouping all this together. So this is like writing and directing. Because I don't feel like with Terrence you can really divide the two. Anyway, the point is, Terrence is just, it's basically like he really, to me, it was like he wanted an excuse of a plot to film beautiful things, which means he should make documentaries. I mean, I know that sounds really cruel. Okay, Terrence Malick is a boss in that he captures human emotion very well. It's very raw. And he just likes to, like, look at beautiful things with his camera and be like, oh my gosh, her tears are, like, gorgeous. Or, like, look at the way her hair flows in the breeze. Or look at how the hay is, swaying in the breeze. Or look how, the eyes just, like, he's very into, like, capturing raw, like, humanness. Like, just nature, like, earthy, this is how it is type of, he's very much that type of filmmaker. So, I think he would see something beautiful and like the hay swaying in the wind, the grain swaying in the wind. That's beautiful. However, that has absolutely nothing to do with telling your story. So why is it in the movie for 15 seconds? I mean, to me, like that is my question. Like, I understand that it's beautiful, and I totally think you should film it and then, like, put it on a DVD and, like, play it in your home. But I don't understand what that has to do with, like, the movie. And it was just, like, so, like, choppily placed within, like, it's, like, in between acting scenes, there's, like, random grain for 15 seconds. Then back to the acting scene. It's like, what the heck is this? I don't know. It's very, excuse me. The transitions in this movie are very blunt. Okay, they're very like, cut, cut, cut. They're not smooth at all. There is no transitions. That's what I'm saying. It's just like from one scene to the other. It's sort of like they take the film and they tape the ends together and hope it all works out. You know what I mean? Like, it's very strange and it's very artsy. Artsy, that's the word I'm looking for. Anyway, the point is, I think that the concept of the plot is great. However, the way he executed the plot is not good at all, in my personal opinion. And I feel like the directing for this was good, but I feel like literally the actors and the dialogue, excuse me, I'm so sorry, and that grain swaying back and forth is making me really sleepy. The acting and the dialogue were just an excuse to film beautiful things, which I feel like that's great, but make a documentary. I don't know. I'm not bashing Terrence. Like, I like a lot of the things he does in his films. However, I feel like for this particular movie, he went overboard with the artsy fartsy and the plot and the dialogue, and your like overall like meshing of the story of the film totally suffered. And you're by the end of the film, you're just like, you get so distracted. It's like these rabbit trails that you go down, and then you're just like, I don't know. It's complicated. Anyway, yeah, I'm not really sure how I feel about this directing, but I feel like, you know what, I feel like the directing would have been killer if the plot hadn't suffered because of what Terrence wanted to show as far as like artsy stuff and just like the way it was edited and just stuff like that, but it totally did. So because of that, I'm really torn about the directing. Okay, guys, let's talk about this parents guide. For the language category, we've got 2 uses of the S word and 2 uses of the A word. So that's it. That's all the language. As far as violence and gore, there's like, there's some minor fist fights, but nothing really that awful. As far as drug and alcohol, I can't really remember anything smoking. Maybe some smoking, but it's not really that bad. As far as sexual content, there's a marriage and there's like innuendo of, you know, sexual things, but it's not really shown and it's not, I don't think there's any nudity, so that's good. Okay, guys, so let's talk about these special notes that Margie has here. There's only 2 of them, and that is, I don't like the plot. I'm just being honest. Like I said, the concept, the idea is great, but the execution is not great. And Terrence Malick loves to capture the human emotion. Everything is very raw. So that was my other note. I'm giving this film 2.5 stars out of 5 stars, which means would I watch it again? I'm going to say no, because honestly, to me, it just drags a lot, but it's holy. It's a holy movie. You've got all these holes, and you're like, well, why is the character doing this? Or, like, what is the purpose for this? And then it's just, And then this is random, but you've got, like, this random narration by the 10-year-old, or however old she is, the sister of Richard Gere's character, like, over these scenes of, like, rain and randomness, and it's like, what are you doing in life? Like, this is so confusing. I just don't understand it. Anyway, that is how I felt when I watched this movie. I hate to the no again. It's beautiful in that it's very artsy. It's very lovely to watch as far as the scenery and the way that's captured, but as far as a movie, I feel like this could have been a documentary. It should have been a documentary, not a movie. Yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. And I feel like I've been harsh on this film, but this is just the way it is, and basically I'm trying to spare you from watching it, even though it does have Richard Gere and it was directed by Terrence Malick. Okay, guys, I will talk to you guys later. Thanks so much for watching this review of the 1978 movie Days of Heaven. I'll talk to you guys later.